Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. We Become Death, written by Weirdo5255. Why do you insist on continuing this? Asked the captain, addressing the smaller creature on the ground in front of him. The thing scrambled forward on its limbs, moving at an unnatural gait, unable to raise itself back up to the stance he had seen in the rest of the species. It hit and bounced off his armor, and once again collapsed onto the floor. Leaning down, the captain grabbed one of its upper limbs in his claw and lifted it into the air. The creature struggled for a moment before going limp as he brought it up to his face. Blood streamed down the limb where he had grabbed it, and the captain marveled at how delicate the thing was. It and the rest of its species. They were perhaps the weakest creatures to have ever achieved interstellar flight, yet had taken the Torvan Empire nearly a decade to subdue them. The creature shuddered, and turning its face to him, the captain was momentarily frozen. The eyes were not unlike those of his own species, expressive. Inside of them, he could see the pain that the creature was in, but more prominent was the hatred smoldering inside its soul. The creature coughed, and a small amount of blood dripped down its face and onto the disheveled armor that it was wearing. The creature smiled. "I am still alive," it said, its voice raspy and barely discernible over the din of the machines and compartment. "You have lost, your planet has fallen, and your species has been reduced to nothing more than a spattering of desperate refugees. Your pitiful attempt to try and sabotage my ship has failed, yet you still fight. Why?" the captain asked. The creature glared at him, and then shifted slightly. It pulled itself up higher, the blood from its limb flowing faster around the captain's claw as it did so. Moving higher, it placed its other limb on its claw and brought its face up to the captain's appendage, which was, with only the smallest amount of force possible, holding it up in the air. Bringing its face forward, the creature quickly clamped its pitiful mandible on its claw. The captain frowned. He barely felt the pressure as it strained to bite him. "Stop! You will only harm yourself, father," the captain said. The creature continued for several moments. The captain heard an audible crack. The creature released its hold, and a fresh gout of blood poured from its mouth. Unsure what to do, the captain released his grip of the thing, and it collapsed to the ground. For several moments, the captain watched as it collected itself, and then slowly and lethargically once again tried to attack him, crawling forward to simply hit his foot with a weak appendage, applying no more force than a newborn would. After several moments, the creature seemed to lose the energy that it had, and it stopped attacking him. After a moment, it rolled over onto its back and brought the damaged limb closer to its chest, cradling it. The captain looked down at it. The creature's eyes were closed. Then a small sound escaped its lips, one that the captain had not heard issue forth from any of the other specimens. It took him a moment, but the captain quickly recognized it as laughter. What started as a small chuckle quickly built until the creature was laughing, as if drunk. "I'm still alive. We don't surrender to death. We fight him more fiercely than we fought you," said the creature. The captain frowned. "You can't hurt me without your weapons, and I could kill you by accident. There is no fight," the captain said. The creature laughed again. I know, but I'm still going to kill you. You destroyed everything we fought for centuries to build in only a few years. I can't not fight you." "You fight, even if you cannot win?" asked the captain. The creature opened his eyes, and mixed with pain and hatred, the captain saw another emotion. Pity. It was something he had never seen in the eyes of the species he conquered for the Torvan Empire. Hate and fear, rage were emotions he saw in the eyes of those he interrogated. He had never seen pity. The creature rolled over and slowly put itself up in 3 limbs, the damaged one still held close to its chest. "You wouldn't?" asked the creature. "You wouldn't fight until your limbs fail and your mind begins to slip away as if you were faced with death. You would surrender to him?" asked the creature. The captain frowned, unsure what to say. In the history of the Empire, their victory had never been in question, and the soldiers of the Empire did not fear death. They would kill themselves before allowing themselves to be taken captive. "If it were my time," the captain said. The creature laughed again. "Then you're a coward. Death is the greatest enemy, and we don't give him ground. We have fought him for thousands of years, and we will continue to do so. We will make sure you fear him as well. We will make sure that you see us as death." The creature took a breath and collapsed onto the ground, into a pool of its own blood on the floor. The comm panel in the room flashed on, and a harried-looking subordinate came into view. "Sir?" "What?" asked the captain. "Something is wrong with the primary," said the subordinate, and the image flickered to a main star of the system. The captain was not astrophysicist, but he knew that the black puckering at the center of it was not normal. "What's going on?" asked the captain. "A space-time rupture has formed and is collapsing our warp fields. We cannot escape," said the subordinate. The captain turned to the creature. "What did you do? Collapse your star into a black hole?" he asked. The creature made this odd laughing noise again, as it said nothing. The captain turned to the display. "What is it?" he asked. "A collapse. A complete collapse of energy in the universe, Captain. The false energy state theory." The subordinate turned to look at the captain. "If the energy readings are correct, the bubble will expand at the speed of light, collapsing all matter and energy in the lowest state. This will destroy the galaxy." The captain rounded the creature to demand an explanation. He was staring at him, its broken teeth visible. "Now we become death, the destroyer of worlds." End of story. Story number 2. With help, written by a glass of whiskey. Under the guise of help, he was going to invade. His target was Earth. Outwardly a part of the United Sol Federation, but internally there was almost a full-on war. Thanks to his spies' excellent work, not only had they gained this information, but also the perfect moment to strike. The Martians would have to be thankful after he stopped their attackers, and the Earth would be his. The tension was reaching its climax as both Earth and Mars had escalated their preparations. A missile launch had triggered countermeasures that could be interpreted as a declaration of war. Both sides were scrambling all their forces, and some minor skirmishes had already broken out. Earth United was in the middle of organizing a large-scale strike when some Bavarian ships jumped into the system. Immediately, accusations of outside assistance started to fly, as both sides presumed them to be hostile to them. "Good evening, humans. We have come to assist in the Martian conquest of Earth." The exploration and communication was the result of a simple message, followed by an immediate Martian reply. "We do not accept your assistance. Our aim is, and continue to be, the defense and independence of Martian soil, not the conquest of Earth." Too fast. Much too fast. His attack was supposed to have been immediate after the message, but that still meant a couple of minutes. If they would denounce them, then they would have to switch aside. "Very well, then. We'll support Earth's conquest of Mars. Ah!" As a mostly symbolic measure, they shot and destroyed one small Martian scout ship. But as it became clear to both sides that neither side had called them here, their hostilities started to direct towards the new target. Captain, it seems both sides of forces are heading towards us. Impossible. That would have left them wide open attacks from either side. Captain, what should we do?" It didn't make any sense. The whole reason for the conflict was their mistrust towards each other, and now they were just going to trust each other. "Captain!" The screen from his subordinates brought him back to reality, and he turned to look at him and repeated once again, "What should we do?" Well, if they couldn't do it peacefully-ish, then they would do it with force. "Battle formation, line up!" At his command, the ships of the fleet moved into position. "Captain, we are ready to fire." Excellent. Both Earth and Mars would be his. Captain, a large amount of missiles are incoming." "Specific count?" It was fine. Their point defense was the best in the galaxy. Could easily take many thousands, and humans had little recent conflict. Easily manageable. "No." "Repeat your last reply." "No." Was he refusing his orders? "It's not possible to get a count." "Ah, I see. Too small." That happens sometimes with very small objects, made it impossible to get a clear reading. No! The computer says that there is only one, but it's 3 by 3 kilometers in area. What? You mean an area of 3 by 3 kilometers is covered in something? Some kind of strange new ship? Not anymore. They've split up. Computer estimates count as 1 million missiles. That was bad. Very bad. Signal for tactical retreat. It's too late. Waves of missiles roared forward against the first line of ships. The point defense system started to light them up. Every time they struck one down, it caused a small explosion, forming a wall of exploding missiles, getting ever closer. For a brief moment, the wall was halted, dangerously close to the ships, until first one, then one more missile found its target. They exploded in immense lights, outshining the system's sun for one brief moment. As a hole formed, the defenses faltered, and more missiles found their targets. Are they all nukes? Yes, Captain. How many are coming for us? Maybe, if we want that many. At least 10,000, Captain. Feck! End of story. This is a special thank you to the one, the only, the legendary Eric Hino, who has become the only Tier 6 patron. I just want to thank the T5 patrons and channel members. Cam Maxwell, Casper Arnolf, Estrella the Dreamer, Tryagain95, Fudic Yol, Meridian117, Alithia, Jordan Bucksborn, Angry Marine, Albarden Gusta, and Barkey. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.